Feel free to stay on mute. I don't think there's any point when most of you will be speaking unless it's during the comment period. But feel free to chime in if there's anything during the meeting that you want to say. Just unmute yourself and tell us to just hit pause, and we will let you chime in on anything you need to. And then during the video portion, that is probably a lengthy portion in the middle of the meeting, go ahead and you can mute yourself and turn off your camera if you'd like.
So we are live.
All right, wonderful. We'll get started in just a few moments.
Give everybody a minute to sign in. How many folks did we have last year? Do you remember?
Like 300?
Yeah, more, yeah.
300, 400?
I think that's how many chairs, yeah, that's how many chairs Curtis said he set up last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember setting up extra chairs. And I wish Sarah could mute me. Actually, Sarah wishes she could mute me.
Never.
Never. Just on Mondays when I'm raring to go.
Okay, looks like we have 73. Whenever you're ready, Chris, I think we can get started.
Awesome. Well, good evening and welcome to the 2020 Daybreak Community Association annual meeting. As you've probably guessed, I'm not Suzanne Gambrulis. My name is Chris DeLong. I am the Utah Vice President here for CCMC. CCMC is a management agent for Daybreak Community Association. We're based out of Scottsdale, Arizona. CCMC has been managing large master plans like Daybreak for more than 48 years. We have almost 1,000 team members working in 10 states across the country, servicing more than 250,000 residents. Please don't tell anyone, but Daybreak is absolutely my favorite. It's a truly amazing community, but based on growth, the secret is out. It's definitely out. I'm here filling in for Suzanne. She wishes she could be here tonight with all of you and with the team, but she is on an extended leave and will be returning later. My time here at Daybreak has been tremendous, working with an amazing team of residents and community volunteers. This evening, we will go through our call to order and establish quorum, welcome and introductions for our quorum tonight in accordance with the bylaws section 2.9. To constitute a quorum, to have an official meeting in accordance with our governing documents for Daybreak, we would need a presence of owners representing 30% of the total membership in Daybreak. Right now, we're a little over 6,700 units, closed homes in Daybreak. And so to have quorum requirements, we would need over 2,000 people. Without that, we will still have a meeting and present information for everyone tonight for your information.
Excellent. Thank you, Chris. So my name is Sarah Andrews. I'm the communications manager for the association.
And my name is Bree. I'm your resident support specialist, also part of your communications team here in Daybreak.
And we will be hosting you this evening, and we will get started with a few introductions, starting with our board of directors. As you can see, they are with us this evening. So we have Rich Sontag, Cameron Jackson, Rulin Dutson, and then our resident members, Mark Hansen and Sylvia Anderson. So those are our board members. We also, as you notice, have a new board member, Richard Piggott, who was just elected last week. So we're very excited to welcome him this evening as our newest voting resident member. He, of course, sadly is replacing Tim Young, who is also with us this evening. Tim Young has been serving as the voting resident member since 2018, so for the past 2 years, and he was actually the first voting resident board member of Daybreak. So we're very, very thankful for all of his efforts, all the time that he has put in. He has put in many, many hours reviewing board packets, budgets, all kinds of information, has spent many hours in board meetings, doing the very best work that he can for his fellow residents. So we just want to thank him tremendously for all of the hours, all of the effort for 2 years. It's a big job, and we are very excited that he was our first voting resident member.
And now we want to quickly introduce our departments within the association that work so hard in managing the day-to-day operations. Here you will see many of our team members at our local office here, who all have a key role in making Daybreak the beautiful place that it is. And later tonight, we'll show another video, or a video that illustrates more of our daily responsibilities. We also want to recognize some of our staff at our CCMC corporate office in Scottsdale, Arizona, who also have a part in behind the scenes operations.
So as many of you know who have been to our past meetings, we normally have several messages from our key leaders in the community. So we will do a similar format this evening, except that they will have each their own video to showcase. So tonight we'll hear from the Police Chief Jeff Carr, and he will be providing a zero harm share for us, followed by Mayor Dawn Ramsey from the city of South Jordan as well. Following her message, we'll hear from Lake's Daybreak Director Dan Leverson. And then last but not least, we'll have Rich Sontag and his president's message from the Board of Directors. After that compilation of messages, you will also see in that video a message from the association team. So that'll give you a little highlight onto each of the departments and what we do on a day-to-day basis. And then as well, you'll see our management report for all of 2020. That'll showcase all of the activities that we've been working on so far this year, all of the hard work that we've been doing, especially with the pandemic that has hit this year. There's been a lot going on among our team, so you'll see some of those. So I will play the video here on Zoom. However, if any of you are familiar, and I'm sure most of you are by now, videos do not play very well over the video conference. So I will still play it. However, Bree has just posted in chat, and on the screen here, you can see a link to the video. It's also posted privately on YouTube. So just click on that link, go over and watch it there. If you're having any issues, we actually highly recommend that you watch it over there, and then it'll avoid any lag or any slowness with the audio.
All right, and during the meeting, I'm going to be randomly picking names out of this jar of all the attendees in this meeting, giving you a chance to win some of the prizes here. We have some good ones tonight, so be sure that your name is correct and updated. That way we can place your name on a later slide for what you win, what prize, all right?
Okay, excellent. So the video is up and ready to go. So I'll start playing this. It's about 24 minutes long. So when you go over to YouTube, go ahead and watch that video and then come back and we will continue with our committee recognition once you finish this video compilation. So we'll go ahead and go. Please message us or comment if you have any issues.
Good evening. I'm Jeff Carr. I'm your police chief. I've been the chief here in South Jordan City since 2015, and I have a total of 37 years of experience in the law enforcement community, all of that here in Utah. And I'm happy to be with you tonight. This is kind of an unusual year. And I think I've been to every HOA meeting since I was chief.
Hey, Sarah?
The outreach, and it's become a bit of a buzzword. But tonight, I'm going to ask you to do your own community outreach. Now, I recognize we're in a pandemic, and this may not be easy, but I'm asking each of you to get to know someone in your neighborhood that you don't currently know. Someone that maybe moves in circles different than your own. Have a conversation, get to know them. Daybreak's known for their activities. Those activities bring people together. But I'm asking you to do this, to take it to a new level. Our community is stronger when we know each other, when we respect each other's beliefs, cultures, and values, even when those values may be different than our own. The organic benefit of knowing each other goes far beyond our collective community safety. The benefits of making our neighbors feel included and valued will have positive effects way into the future. Over the last couple of months, I've met with several residents, including people of color, to learn about their concerns. Without exception, our residents have been very respectful, and I've learned a lot about their concerns and the value of diversity. It was helpful for me and educational as we go about trying to build a spirit of mutual respect and inclusion. And I expect that those conversations will continue. We ask a lot of our police officers, the men and women that protect this community, and I believe they do a good job, but they're not perfect. But I am proud of the work that they do every day protecting this city. I would encourage you, as you see them, to stop and talk to them and have a conversation with them. Our mission statement says that we provide professional police services through engaged community partnerships consistent with the values of South Jordan City. Let's make sure that as our city grows, and by the way, most of that growth is going to happen in Daybreak, that we reach out to those that have chose to come and live among us, to raise their families, and we ensure that we are an example of respect and inclusion. So I ask you tonight to become partners with us and partners with each other as we build trust. Sir Robert Peel, the father of modern policing, said in 1829 that the police are the public and the public are the police, and that the police are the only ones who are paid to give full attention to something that's incumbent on all of us, and that's our own safety in our community. The quote speaks to the partners that we need to be if we're going to be successful, not only in crime prevention, but holistically as a city and community. I'm honored to serve as your police chief, and I'm dedicated to providing the service that you deserve and demand as a resident of South Jordan City. I thank you for the support that we have felt as a police department as we work through these difficult issues, and I welcome you to contact me with any concerns that you might have. Thank you.
Hello friends, I am South Jordan Mayor Dawn Ramsey. I miss being with you in person today, but I hope this finds you all well and safe. It's been quite a year, hasn't it? Yes, but I can tell you the residents of our city have risen to the occasion and stepped up in service and ways that have really benefited their neighbors and the rest of the community. We have all had to work to find creative solutions to the challenges that this year has presented. At the city, our recreation staff did an outstanding job providing virtual activities for all of you, the residents of this city this year, including our virtual race series, our story walks, scavenger hunts, and our Sojo Summerfest reverse parade called Float and Floats. We had really creative and fantastically unique graduation ceremonies for the young people in our city this year, and our educators continue doing heroic work. We are so grateful for all of them, for all of you who are working to help your kids and help education happen and thrive during this unprecedented time. Our staff has worked tirelessly at the city this year, and I am proud to let you know that we never had to close any departments at the city. We were able to keep all of our departments open and all city services functioning throughout this entire year. We've worked really hard to try to stay engaged with the community through doing regular videos and a lot of social media posts. We've sent out our monthly newsletter and done all we can to try to stay engaged and to help inform all of you about what's going on in the city. We also partnered with Riverton City to offer residents a frontline salute, honoring all of those working on the front lines during this pandemic. You know, there's a lot of great things happening in the Daybreak area, as many of you are aware, and I'd like to touch on just a few of those. The city and county have partnered together, and we were able to break ground on our new Bingham Creek Regional Park, which is directly north of Daybreak. We're very excited about that partnership and look forward to putting in this largest regional park in all of Salt Lake County by the time it's done. It's a generational park that will take many years to build out, but phase 1 is underway, and we're very excited about that. Phase 2 of our new Highland Park was completed this year, making it a beautiful new 20-acre amenity here in the city, including 6 new pickleball courts. The Salt Lake County Library in Daybreak is well underway, and it will be our 2nd county library here in the city, so we're excited about that. Our new fire station and police substation, Station 64, is nearly complete, and we are very grateful to have that new facility in our city. Public safety remains our top priority, and we are grateful for all of the hardworking men and women. They've been very busy this year. They've had a lot to do. We're so grateful for their service and for the time and effort that they've put into keeping all of us safe. The new interchange project at Bangerter Highway is underway at 104th South, where we were successful in working with UDOT, getting them to take Bangerter Highway under 104th South and in obtaining the grants necessary to pay the difference, so that when it's finished, it will be very much like what we have at 114th South. We ask for your continued patience as that project is underway, and I promise, if we can get through the construction phase, which we can, if we can all be patient and work together, take some alternative routes when we need to, it will be so much better when it's finished. So thank you for your patience and cooperation in advance as we work on that project. We broke ground on a brand new elementary school in Village 8 in Daybreak, just days before the pandemic turned life upside down for all of us. We are excited for that new school. It's well on its way and will open in the fall of 2021. We have a COVID testing center at the University of Utah Healthcare Center located on the Daybreak Parkway here in South Jordan, and we're so grateful for all of the medical personnel who have worked tirelessly to keep our community safe and healthy. Thank you to all of you for your efforts. And finally, the new VA Health Center just opened their doors. The VA Health Center is located directly across the street from the University of Utah Healthcare Center and will provide medical services closer to home to the veterans who live here in South Jordan and all of our surrounding communities. We're excited to have them open and grateful to have them be part of our community as well. Thank you to all of you for the service that you've given, for the love that you've shown to each other, for your patience with your neighbors and with the community, with the situation that we're all dealing with. I'm so grateful for each of you and for your willingness to do what it takes to help all of us get through this unprecedented time. Yes, it's been a challenging year, but we will get through this together, and I promise you the future is very bright here in South Jordan.
Hi, my name is Dan Roderson with Live Daybreak. You may know us from the 180 events, activities, and programs that we host throughout Daybreak year-round. Some of these include Trick or Treat Street, the car shows, Soda Row concert series, and of course, my favorite, the Ginormous Pumpkin Regatta. We are an independent nonprofit whose mission is to build a unique sense of community while advancing the principles of interpersonal connectivity, lifelong learning, embracing arts and diversity, healthy living, and giving back. 2020 has been a rough year, but the staff and a host of volunteers have shifted and pivoted to continue to roll out a series of engaging and fun events in the Daybreak community. Behind nearly every one of our events, there's a host of volunteers who plan, execute, and evaluate everything that we do. Although 2020 was an odd year, we had a series of firsts, including the first chili dip, where 50 residents broke the ice in the outdoor pool to jump in, the first Daybreak Brew Festival, the first Daybreak Duck Derby, and our first dance classes on the roof of the new boathouse. We're looking forward to returning to our event scheduled in 2021. And of course, we've got some new things lined up, such as the Daybreak Soapbox Derby, as well as a dragon boat race on Ochre Lake. So enjoy this quick recap video from 2020, and we hope to see you in 2021.
Good evening. I'm Rich Sontag. I'm honored to serve as president of your Daybreak Community Association. As we approach the close of 2020, I want to comment on the extraordinary challenges we've all faced and celebrate the way in which our community and your community association have addressed these challenges. You know, I believe we've all become stronger in doing so. The COVID-19 pandemic forced all of us to make life adjustments and re-examine our priorities. We sheltered in place, we worked from home, we homeschooled children, we forewent gatherings with friends and family and grappled with a bomb shelter mentality some of us are old enough to remember from the 1960s. But despite all this, we hung together as a community. We exercised tolerance for each other, responsibly celebrated our diversity, and supported our fellow residents. Your community association appropriately adjusted its operations to ensure the safety of residents and staff while maintaining facilities and amenities and continuing to provide activities to the extent allowed by regulations. Economies were instituted wherever possible while also conducting facility maintenance and deep cleaning in order to reopen facilities as soon as allowed. Thank you, Daybreak residents, for exercising such patience and forbearance as the board and your management team work through the needed adjustments to facilities, operations, and programming. Despite the challenges, 2020 was still a year of record growth at Daybreak. Sales of over 900 new homes, plus a steady stream of resales, have led to more than 1,100 families moving into Daybreak so far this year, more than in any prior year. The result of this is that Daybreak is proud to be the #5 best-selling community in the United States. At year end, there will be well in excess of 7,000 homes occupied in Daybreak, and we expect to continue growing at the rate of 600 plus new homes per year for the foreseeable future. You who live here already know what makes Daybreak such a wonderful place to live. Our innovative master plan with distinct villages featuring parks, lakes, schools, recreational activities, preserved natural open space, and local retail. A diverse, inclusive community offering a wide array of housing choices, all well integrated within each village. a walkable yet transportation-oriented development pattern which promotes pedestrian and bicycle transportation while allowing a functional road network and easy light rail transportation into Salt Lake. Curated community programming through the efforts of Live Daybreak, and excellent community governance through the efforts of our Community Executive Director Suzanne Gambrulis and Community Manager Chris Money and their tireless teams. With regard to the state of your association, your Daybreak Community Association is financially strong, with reserves appropriate to the value of its assets. Careful planning by the association board and the Budget and Finance Committee have ensured that as this community grows, the association will be in a position to maintain and operate present and future community amenities as intended in the Community Covenant and Association's Declaration. The association also has a team of friendly and highly qualified personnel who are well up to this task. That team manages and maintains over 500 acres of parks, common areas, and other amenities, which this year saw more use than ever before. Some milestones we achieved in 2020. The new beach club was opened at the intersection of Daybreak Parkway and Kestrel Rise Road. Repainting and deep cleaning of the Daybreak Community Center and other amenities were performed by association staff during last spring's COVID shutdown. The association completed and opened additional community parks, and Highland Village continued to attract new residents amid growing excitement over the new watercourse that has begun construction just west of that neighborhood. Looking forward to 2021, a few highlights of what we anticipate on the horizon are: 1, the opening of The Spoke, our new bike park located north of Highland Park Village. We're looking forward to progress on construction of the watercourse and working with the association to complete design of the new Cove House amenity to be located on the southern shore of the watercourse. By summer, we should see the opening of new residential villages immediately south of the watercourse and the Cove House. Your association and Live Daybreak will both be involved in 2021 in the master developer's planning and design of a new concert and event venue to start construction in Daybreak Town Center, hopefully by this fall. We want to express appreciation for those residents who have been willing to serve their Daybreak community. Our long-serving resident board member, Tim Young, is leaving the board as of year end, and I'd like to recognize Tim for his service to this community and thank him for his efforts in improving the level of service that this association provides to its residents. Thank you, Tim. Tim will be replaced by a new voting resident member, Richard Piggott, who will be inducted at this annual meeting. Sylvia Anderson and Mark Hansen will also continue as your additional non-voting resident board members. Thank you all for agreeing to serve. I also want to thank and acknowledge all of the many other residents who've given of their personal time to volunteer as one of the Master Association boards or committees or on any of our sub-association boards or committees. Your involvement ensures that all viewpoints are taken into account, and that's what really creates the diversity of community experience we have here at Daybreak. I encourage any residents who would like to get involved to contact your DCA staff and contribute your talents and help us make Daybreak even better. Good evening.
with the unprecedented pandemic this year, our staff maintained momentum in completing many projects in 2020. The association welcomed more than 900 new units to Daybreak with a total of more than 1,100 new move-ins, a record-setting year in the community.
The administration team adjusted quickly to the health department guidelines by limiting the number of daily on-site staff and ensuring social distancing practices were met by installing plexiglass shields throughout the office. The administration department also welcomed an additional team member to help with resident needs as Daybreak continues to grow. In addition, management and the board of directors worked to negotiate a new internet contract with CenturyLink and supported the nominating committee in presenting and electing a new voting resident board member. Along with the finance committee, we also created and presented the 2021 budget, which was adopted by the board.
Our facilities department made adjustments to follow health and safety guidelines as we prepared to open our summer amenities. Amenity card registration was moved to an online process and staff created reservations for pool sessions, gym workouts, fitness classes, and more to accommodate residents while following health department guidelines. The team took advantage of the community center closure and painted the entire facility, performed deep cleanings, and replaced the spin bikes for group fitness classes. Residents also now have mobile access to facilities with the new Kisi app. Staff opened the much anticipated beach club facility that now houses watercraft rentals, sailing lessons, and Duffy boat rides.
With the first full year of Ochre Lake under association management, the operations team worked to resurface the lake trail system, add plants and wildflowers, bring in 300 tons of sand to the beaches, and coordinate the next phase of landscaping on the western shores. Elsewhere in Daybreak, we began upgrades on the roundabouts and planted 140 trees throughout the community, in addition to adding 2 new parks. By popular demand, vendors resurfaced the tennis courts to include pickleball lanes for the residents. Courts and paseos received a mulch refresh, and landscapers added more than 600 perennials and shrubs in the Founders and Creekside areas. Currently, the Lake Avenue Park and fire pits are also in the process of being reconfigured to natural gas instead of wood burning to provide a cleaner and more sustainable year-round amenity.
In community standards, staff collaborated with the design review committee to increase vendor options for fence stain. With more residents working from home this year, the staff and committee worked hard to accommodate a 40% increase in design review applications. Staff processed more than 750 applications this year. To help educate residents before escalating community standard violations, Covenant staff introduced friendly reminder door tags.
To support resident education and easier access to information, the Communications Department launched a new Daybreak resident website. The introduction of social media pages in May provided another channel to share timely information with residents. With an increase in home sales, the team also updated the new resident welcome process to ensure those new to Daybreak are given all the information they need. In an effort to gain resident feedback, we administered the annual resident survey and analyzed results with the board. 2020 was also an election year for the next resident board member, and communications focused on encouraging homeowners to vote. Online voting alone more than doubled when compared to the 2018 election.
Thank you to all of our essential staff members of the Community Association that help maintain the Daybreak way of life. We look forward to serving residents as the community continues to grow.
All right, thank you all for watching that. We're just gonna wait just a couple seconds in case anybody is just joining us back from the YouTube video. And then we'll continue with the presentation. Okay, hopefully we're ready to move on and everyone has seen the video in its full length. Again, if you had any issues seeing the video It is on our YouTube channel. We will make that public. And again, this entire presentation will be recorded and posted later as well. So if anybody that you know might have missed it, we definitely have a recording of everything available. Okay, so moving on in our program, we want to highlight some of our standing committees. So the Daybreak Community Association works with 4 different committees filled with resident volunteers who give of their time. And that's so important to us to get in resident input. And we really appreciate their time. We cannot thank you enough for being part of these committees. So we just wanted to recognize you this evening. And we do have, for those committee members who are outgoing, we do have a little recognition gift for you. So we'll be dropping that off for you later on in the week.
All right, so first we have the Covenants Committee. This committee includes Laureen Thompson, Mary Bruno, Chris Rongstad, Adam Willis, Pete Stevens, and Adam Frenza. This committee reviews different appeals while making recommendations to the board to help uphold community standards that are outlined in our governing documents.
Next up is the Design Review Committee, and on this committee we have Mike Hawthorne, Greg Ladrero, Paul Hurst, John Nider, Steve Salin, Ryan Nicorado, Karen Musselman, Scott Murphy, Jill Schneider, and Lynn Schutz. So we want to thank all of you for your efforts in the Design Review Committee, especially this year. This committee works very hard. We had to add additional meetings each week that they had to attend. So they definitely earned their stripes this year. So we want to make sure to recognize all of them. And of course, if you're familiar with this committee, they help to approve any exterior home improvements that residents do. So they've looked through quite a few of those this year, and it is a lot of work. So we want to definitely thank them.
All right, then we have the Budget and Finance Committee, which is what it sounds like. It is a committee that reviews the monthly financials and all the budgets for the association. We want to thank them for all their hard work. Considering these budgets are so large, it's got to be very time consuming and pretty tedious. So congratulations for them. I mean, it's great. So, and that includes Rulin Dutson, Amanda Morton, Anna Bergevin, Ron Tucker, Scott Sherman, and Cindy Costa.
And last but not least, we have the Common Area Advisory Committee with Mike Kasipka, Chrissy Hayes, Michelle Speckman, Rob Willardson, Travis Baker, and Zakia Richardson. And this committee helps the board with any recommendations that they need on common areas, whether that be parks, open spaces, or trails. So they just help the board really understand what residents are thinking about in regards to those open spaces. So again, thank you to all of these committees, and Carrie, our administration manager, will be providing you with those special recognition plaques.
All right, so we are going to play a short game. Another reminder, please be sure that your name is updated so we're able to recognize the winners of this game. For better incentive though, we have a $50 Visa gift card courtesy of Elite Landscaping, Elite Grounds, you'll see them around the community, and the $25 Visa gift card from Mountain America Credit Union. So right now you guys are welcome to pull out your phones, or you can do it on the computer you're watching on now. Just go to menti.com and use this code, and it'll just be a fun game with simple questions about Daybreak.
Yeah, so again, you can use your mobile device, a desktop, laptop, anything that you have. Just go to menti.com, add in that code, and the code will be on every slide. You won't miss out. So what we're going to do is start off with just 2 questions that'll get you acclimated to the system. It's very user-friendly for you. So go ahead, and we'll go through to the next slide. You should see this question on your screen. So these are just practice questions, just so everyone can get to know each other who is on this call tonight. So how long have we all lived in Daybreak? We'll see who's joined us this evening. Quite a few, between 1 to 5 years. We'll wait for a few more responses as everyone joins and adds in that code. Oh, we have a few who've been here more than 10 years. And quite a few new residents. Okay, we'll move on to the next question. And again, this is just a practice question. just throw on your screen 1 or 2 words. What is your favorite part about living in Daybreak? And we're going to create a little word cloud here. Ooh, the lake seems to be pretty popular. Awesome. Okay, thank you, everyone. That's kind of fun to see. Okay, so hopefully those 2 questions kind of got you all logged in. And now we'll get started with the quiz portion. Okay, so the idea is pretty simple. Just collect as many points as possible and you will win a prize. And the 2 prizes that Bree mentioned. So here are the rules. So you're going to either select from multiple choice or type in the best answer. And then the faster you respond, you actually win even more points from doing that. And then watch out for your position on the leaderboard. So there are 7 questions. After each question, you'll see your position on the leaderboard. So just pay attention to that. So when we start the quiz, it'll ask you for a name to put on there. So make sure you put the name that you want to be recognized as on the quiz. It can be a nickname if you want to keep yourself private. And then for each question, you'll notice an initial timer. That timer is just giving you time to read the question. And then you'll notice a countdown timer, and that is the limit that you have to get your answer in. So don't forget to submit your question before that final countdown. So we'll help you along here with the first couple questions. But yeah, there's just 7 questions, and we'll see who lands on top and wins the gift card. All right. Looks like everyone's joining. All those icons represent all of us. Okay. Hopefully everyone's got their name entered in and we're ready to start. And Bree will read us the first question.
All right, how many residents live in Daybreak?
5 seconds left. Get your answers in. Let's see who got it right. 28,000. So congrats to all those who got that one correct. Let's see. All right, let's move on to the next one.
All right, how many acres is Ochre Lake?
Try to get those answers in quick. Ooh, it's 20. Let's see. How does this affect the leaderboard? All right, Nash is on top.
All right, what does DCC stand for?
Give you a few more seconds to answer this one. It might take you a minute to type that out. Hopefully that music isn't too loud, but we thought it was festive. All right. Daybreak Community Center. That is what we wanted to see. So let's find out who's on top now. Ooh, someone got extra points for being fast. All right, 4 out of 7, we're getting closer.
How many applications did the design review committee and staff review this year?
Those answers in, 10 seconds left. If you paid attention to our video, you will definitely know the answer. Oh, a lot of you paid attention. Excellent. Let's find out. Ooh, we've got a couple there fighting for the top. 5 or 7, just a few left.
All right, which is not a resident committee you can join in Daybreak?
We got a few options there. Which one can you not join? All right, 5 seconds. Ooh, just a couple. Art advisory is actually a Live Daybreak committee as well. So if you're interested in art, you can definitely join that committee. Got some people moving up. All right, 6 of 7, just 2 left.
All right, how many seasonal staff are hired each summer?
Hopefully the music isn't bugging anyone at this point. It is the same song. You are correct. 110? Ooh, 90. And each year it goes up. Ooh, someone else has moved into second. Good job, Bill. All right, last one. Who can get it? So make sure you write in the correct answer this time.
What is the name of the Dusty boat that floats around Ochre Lake?
Give you a few extra seconds on this one. Maybe some of you have taken a trip with Captain Ron and Captain Jack. Their commentary is pretty funny if you've been on the boat. All right, last chance. Get those answers in. Okie is indeed the correct answer there. All right, let's find out. And the verdict? Awesome, congratulations, Nash. You came out on top, you stuck with it.
All right, I hope everyone enjoyed that game as much as I did. We played it in the office and we loved it, but that was only between 12 or 13 people, and this one has, you know, a lot more people than 12 or 13. So that was entertaining to watch. That was really fun. So it looks like, congratulations to the top 2 winners. It is Nash and Carl A. Well, as long as you remember that, we'll write it down. Come to the office and get your gift card by next Wednesday, just the day before Thanksgiving. And that will be, yeah, good time coming.
Awesome. Okay, well, thank you everyone for participating in that game. Hopefully the music didn't drive you too nuts after a while there, but you might see that pop up again in a later meeting if it was fun. So let us know in the comments if you liked it. Okay, so moving on, this is the resident comment portion of the evening. We do have all of the board members plus the management team as well available. So go ahead and put those questions in the chat box. Bree and I will take a look for those and see what you need to share with us, and we'll go ahead and ask those questions of the board and the management team. Looks like a few really did enjoy the game, so those are great comments. Good to know. We'll just give it a couple minutes to see if anyone has any particular questions or suggestions to share with the board. Okay, so it looks like we do have a question about the development on the North Shore. So as a reminder, any development questions should go to the developer Daybreak Communities. The association does not have anything to do with development of what's happening on North Shore. That would definitely be something to ask Daybreak Communities. And you can go ahead and call them, email them. Their information is on daybreakutah.com. Okay, one question is, where do new residents get information about the amenities, such as the Duffy boat and using your own kayak in the lake? So perfect question, because that can go to Bree and myself as the communications team. So make sure, number one, that you know our website. Our new website that just came out in March is mydaybreak.com, and definitely go on there. That has a list of all of the amenities available to you. Also, Bree and I have been working on revamping the new resident process this year, as we said in that video. Hopefully you saw that portion, but for all new residents, we send out a welcome email, and it gives all the information on amenity access to the internet, and any basic questions that they have. We also can offer a phone orientation for new residents and things like that. And the final thing, make sure that you are involved in the newsletter that comes out every single Tuesday, and you can sign up for that on our website. That'll come out every Tuesday. It'll have information on events from Live Daybreak as well as the Community Association. If you follow that newsletter, you will not miss anything that is happening in the community. Also, our newest addition is social media. Do not forget to follow the association at Daybreak Association on Instagram or Facebook. And that is where a lot of our fastest information comes out, because we can share that in real time and not have to wait for the Tuesday newsletter. So if you want behind the scenes information, follow us on social.
Hey, Sarah, it looks like there was a question from Tim Hood regarding the details for the new CenturyLink agreement for the Community Association. I just wanted to reach out and let Tim know that that agreement still is in negotiation and it hasn't been executed by the board. As soon as it is executed, all of the details will be released to the Community Association. We can tell you right now that in the negotiations, the board had worked out a reduced fee. So the fees are going down from $34 per unit per month to $33 per unit per month. And then the speed, both up and down, has been increased as well as part of that service agreement.
Excellent. And I do see another question about the internet speed in Daybreak. That will be included in the internet contract. I don't know if, Chris, you want to comment on that as well.
Just from what we know now, and as soon as that agreement has been finalized and executed, we'll release it out to the owners.
Great. Okay, and this question looks like it might be for Chris Money, who helps with operations as our community manager. This question says, the dog park is in pretty bad shape. The grass is mostly gone and mostly dirt. Are there plans to repair it or improve it?
So
we'll just give Chris a moment. Thank you, Chris.
We started this year, we looked at a way of repairing it. We talked with the board about it. However, the discussion ended up being something along the lines of a more permanent fix. We got that in order, and we have a bid for that we're going to execute in the spring. But what it'll do is it'll be a complete revamp of the dog park. So we'll be making some major modifications, removing some of the problems with it, and as soon as we had, the concern we didn't do it in the fall was because we didn't have enough of an irrigation window to establish the turf. However, in the spring, as soon as we can get the turf down and ensure that it'll be adequately irrigated, we will completely change over everything in the dog park. So you'll see a new dog park launch. It'll probably be down for a little bit, but we should launch it in this late spring, reopen in the late spring of 2021.
Excellent, thank you. We have a question about when will the KeyCard app roll out to residents? And this is regarding KeySee, the app that you probably saw on the video. It's actually up and running. So all you need to do is contact the Daybreak Community Center, and they will provide you with all the information and get you logged into that app and get you access. So that's how you can get in to the Daybreak Community Center. Normally the rear door is open because we did allow access to that for handicap. and for additional parking in the back. So normally that is open right now. With COVID, it is not, but that'll give you access to that. It'll give you access to the workout rooms above, tennis courts, other amenities like that. So make sure to get signed up for the Key app, and it's as easy as walking by and touching your screen and the door will open. So it's very, very convenient. All right, it looks like we have another question for Chris Money. Just wanting to know an update on the solution to the lighting on the island around the path.
So we've discussed with the original installer, because those lights are a good many years old, that as soon as they have some bandwidth, they're going to map out the original installs of the lights, and we're going to see what is and isn't still semi-functioning, what is functioning, and what needs to be completely redone. And then we're going to look at replacing lights all around the lake in phases. So I've already given them a preliminary map on our priority list. And the game plan there is that we'll start rolling forward with that as soon as we can free up their bandwidth. The reason we're leaning that way is simply because they have so much experience in that particular area doing the original installs around the lake long before the construction ever went in for the homes. So they know that better than anybody else.
Excellent. And then we have a question regarding the status of the RV park. So just that maybe some of you are not aware, the RV park is no longer owned by the developer. There's a new company that has ownership. So we can definitely include a link to their website in chat so you can see the status of that. So there are some updates there at the RV park regarding pricing and different things like that. So it's just a separate company now outside of the HOA. Okay, and another question regarding some future amenities. Do we have a timeline on the spoke and the park surrounding that amenity?
Sarah, did you want me to answer that one?
That would be great. Thank you, Cameron.
Yeah. So they started construction on it earlier this fall. And it's a pretty big amenity and spans a pretty big section of that neighborhood. So the anticipated completion for that is sometime at the end of next summer in 2021.
All right. Excellent. That should be exciting. And if you need more information on that park, you can see the developer's website. They have a few videos on it, and it looks great. A lot of people are already very excited about it. We did see one comment about the lawnmowers being too big. They put holes in my grass. And I'm assuming this is in reference to somebody's townhome or maybe garden park or spring house. And this might be a good time just to remind residents, anything with sub-associations, for example, garden park, spring house, many of the townhomes and condos where landscaping services are provided on your property, that should be all taken care of through your sub-association manager. So if you have questions about who your sub-association manager is or what sub-association you're in, please contact us. We're happy to provide that information for you so you can get to the right person to help address any of those issues. Okay, moving down the list, just looking through some of these comments. Okay, some questions regarding builder issues. Since moving into your home, who's the best person to talk to about this? Chime in, anyone, if you have a better answer, but you would need to talk to your builder. The association does not reach out to the builders on behalf of residents for any specific issues with any of your new homes. Okay. We do have a question that says, why are exclusive amenities being added for neighborhoods? When we bought here, it was stated that as the community grew, we would have more amenities.
I can take that one, Sarah. I'm not aware of any, other than on the island, where some have been added, and there's actually additional fees that are paid by the island residents that support those amenities and keep them going. Other than that, I'm not aware of any exclusive amenities that have been added. There's a lot of new stuff that's being added as we go. So we talked about the spoke earlier. I did see a question in here, I think, about the water course, which has just recently they've broken ground on that. It'll take about 2 to 3 years to get that completed. And there's a number of additional new parks as well that are going to be delivered next year throughout the community.
Thank you so much. Okay, we have information asked about construction companies. This is often a common one from residents. This one says the construction companies are not doing a good job keeping their areas clean. Our alleys and neighborhoods are filled with garbage, specifically from the different builders. Can we keep them to some standard as the homeowners are kept, the same standard as homeowners are kept to? We get notices for having our garbage cans left out. However, there is trash littered everywhere from the construction companies. I believe the real concern should be the actual garbage, rubbish and construction garbage rather than a can left out Thursday morning.
Hey, Chris, do you want to take that and talk about the builder scorecard meetings and how we work with the developer to review what the builders are doing and areas that they can improve to be more aligned with the community association?
Certainly. We do work with the builders, and recently we completed a builder scorecard for the builders. We're in the process of reviewing those with them right now. But the premise behind that is that we take very seriously the complaints we get from the residents regarding whether it be issues of parking in the alleyways, debris and garbage in the community, whether it's issues created by noise or other things. And we do relay them back to the builders on a pretty regular basis. In particular, we have the 3 builders that are working around the lake right now, which have been the recipient of a lot of complaints just simply because of where they're working. And I'm on a phone call with them on a weekly basis discussing some of those things, particularly the garbage. Part of that is in their grades and scorecards comes back from feedback from the residents. So if you run into that issue, please let us know. We do work hand in hand with the developer on this. We've got a consolidated complaint list now that we have, courtesy of the developer, that we can now put all complaints from the builders so that they can see them and we can see them and we can compare notes on what we're running into. In fairness to the builders, when we've let them know of particular issues, they have been fairly responsive, but a lot of the times it is the subcontractors that come in, they go back, they clean up their mess, and another subcontractor comes in and we receive the same issue. So we do our best to maintain the area as we can. We also do go out and clean up some areas where it goes into the lake, as do our landscape crews, but it's a lot of area to keep track of. And when we have windstorms, it makes it a little bit more complex to deal with. But we do our best to maintain that as we can. And we do our best to hold the builders accountable also.
Great, thank you. Let's see, next question. Did the HOA apply for some of the PPP government grant money to help pay staff or expenses?
No, we did not. And that was something that community associations across the country had really kind of delved into that. And based upon advice from council, that was not something that we pursued at all.
Okay. All right, next comment. Thank you on the board for all of your great work. However, it looks like we need some diversity on the board. Do you have a plan to recruit people of color? This is actually a great question because we just had the election. Anyone can apply to be on the board, and we were surprised to see that not too many residents want to participate in the board, but it is open to any resident in good standing with the association. So we welcome any applicants, not only to the board if you don't have time for that sort of commitment, but we also have, like we mentioned, those 4 different committees, depending on your experience or expertise, that we love to have resident participation. And the more interaction from participants in the community, the more that we can make the association really work for the residents. So thank you for that comment. We definitely would love to have as many applications as possible to get as many people involved as we can.
And I would just second on that. It's an excellent point, Sarah, that it's the residents' engagement that makes Daybreak as wonderful as it is. But with that being said, we do need community volunteers, and we're always in search of our next committee member. And we're always looking for people to join our sub-associations as well. So if you're interested in serving the community association and you have a particular interest, and maybe it's design review, maybe it is common areas, or it might even be Live Daybreak, please stop by the office and talk to one of us. We would love to sit down and give you any information to help you along that way.
I would also like to make mention that Zakia Richardson, who is a lady of color, has served on a number of boards here in Daybreak over many years. I don't know how long you've been a resident here, the person that asked the question, but she was, I believe, the first, but she's been on many committees, and we'd love to have you.
Okay, next question. What steps do the HOA take to advise new residents of the value of the HOA and what to expect of the association? I see way too many comments regarding the HOA on the Daybreak Facebook page and feel that being proactive in what the HOA is and not feel that being proactive with what the HOA is and not would be very helpful. So it looks like the comments appears that they're based on a lack of information. Many of you, I'm sure, are on the Daybreak residents page, the infamous page. We as a staff do not participate in that page in any way, shape, or form. It is not associated with us. So if you are a part of that page, wonderful. But if you're hoping to get in touch with the association, we're not on it because it's meant for homeowners. It's not meant for us. We have our own social media pages. So if residents are sharing comments on there regarding the HOA, usually I would assume it's because they are trying to vent. If they truly have an issue that they want us to address, give us a phone call. Just today, we had someone call us about graffiti and the team went out immediately and took care of that. So we definitely want to hear all the feedback from residents. And as a communications team, we are aware of some of the wrestlings on that page, but we have our new website. And again, we have social and the newsletter. We have our new resident process now. Hopefully we're getting the right information to the right residents. We are noticing that residents are sharing direct links to the new website now. So we are noticing that the correct, accurate information from the true source is eventually getting to residents. So that's really nice to see, but it definitely is a work in progress. And we want to make sure that residents understand what they're getting and all the hard work that we do. So that's up to Bree and I to really work on, especially going into next year. All right, just continuing to look down at the question. Looks like there's a question about a time frame about the fire pits and converting those into gas. And I'm assuming Chris and Money will have an update for us.
Yes, the difficulty, we've already processed through we're permitting with the city for the gas meter. At this point, getting the gas meter installed is actually more of the trick than anything else. Apparently, there's a bit of a backlog with those. However, as soon as we get a date for that, I can go through and set up getting the contractors out there to install everything. So Blue Stakes has an interesting window of when they can come out and when we have to do construction. But I've got to get that meter in first. And as soon as that meter is installed, we'll get everything else done.
Excellent. And then we have a question, how do you join the concert committee and will we have concerts next year? So as a reminder, the association is completely separate from Live Daybreak. They have a different board, they have separate funding, so they handle all the concerts. So feel free to reach out to them as well for all that information for next year. If you did get one of our little goodie bags, their brochure for next year's events is in there as well. And you can see on our website, mydaybreak.com, if you go over to the Live Daybreak portion of the site, they have all their information there too for those upcoming events. Okay, next question. Will the berms and grass along Lake Avenue and Linear Park be brought back next spring after the extreme grub infestation? Ooh, grub.
They've already been slice seeded in most locations. And in the event that that doesn't take, they'll seed it a second time in the spring. We want to bring it back as much as possible. And in a lot of cases, there will be some return from some tufts pushing through. But we've got to see that. We've got to see what crowns and what doesn't, and then seed it going forward from there. So we do have a plan in place for that, and we started on it right about the time we were prepping to shut down the water.
Okay. And then we have a question about the anticipated date for the first usage of the water park. Will this be implemented in phases? And I'm assuming you mean water course. I think it'd be awesome if we had a water park, but I think we just have planned a water course. And I don't know if anyone on the board or has an idea on timing for that.
Yeah, I mentioned that earlier. So they broke ground on it actually just a couple of weeks ago, and it will be built in phases. And it's anticipated that it'll take probably between 2 and 3 years before that's really operational. It's a really big project, and it's a really complex one from an engineering standpoint. And so it'll take quite some time before that is really in a condition where it looks and feels finished.
Great. I see another question asking about developer-related items. When will the new downtown area be built out? Again, that would be up to the developer Daybreak Communities. And again, you can see all that information on their website, daybreakutah.com. Okay, just reading through a few more questions.
And just a reminder for everyone out there, if for any reason you didn't get to ask your question tonight and you know, 10 minutes later or an hour later or tomorrow or next week, still have a question, please reach out to us at the office. We're here every day and we would love to help you and answer any questions that you may have.
Excellent. And a follow-up to the fire pit question, until they're upgraded to gas, are we going to be permitted to do wood campfires? And I believe that the fire pits are closed until they are converted. And Chris Money can correct me on that. All right, and then go ahead, Chris, sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, we had hoped that they would complete sooner than this, but for the time being, just out of concerns for the neighboring residents that are taking issues with that, we're keeping them closed, but we hope to have them back up and running shortly.
Okay. And then one more question for you, Chris. We have a question about lights, but specifically lights installed on the bridges to the island. Do we have any plans for that?
That's part of the comprehensive lighting plan that I was talking about earlier. So okay. There are lights that exist on the ground that shine and reflect onto the bridge. However, they are well past their expiration date. They're several years past their expected life. And that's something that we've got something in play with that same electrical company that is working on things. It'll be included as part of the lights bid.
Excellent. Okay, we did have a follow-up question about our goodie gift bags. So yes, the first 100 who registered for the event did get a swag bag. We do still have a couple in the office though, so some of you didn't pick up your swag bag. So just be sure next year to register really quick and you will be able to get some of the swag from quite a few of our vendors. Okay, I'm sorting through the comments. There are quite a few. I think we got to most of them, if not all of them. And if we didn't directly answer your question, it's because I believe we answered it by answering a separate question. But please feel free, if you have any additional questions, to either email them to us and we can provide that to the board, or copy and paste it one more time there in the bottom. And we'll make sure to take one more look. And let me know, any panelists, if you see another one that we happen to miss. A lot of thank yous going on. Thank you for your thank yous. We did have a lot of work into this meeting.
Sarah, somebody mentioned that it looks as though only 100 people can get into this platform. You know, if we're going to do more of these meetings in Zoom, which hopefully we can get past this, but if we do more, we need a platform that can accommodate 300 or 400 people. Can we figure out how to do that?
It's a webinar that should accommodate 400. So if anybody had an issue getting in because of a limit, we will have to contact Zoom about that. But yeah, we've used this webinar in other communities for quite large crowds. So it should be set to have as much as 400.
You should double check that because I've been watching the numbers since I saw that comment, and it has always topped out at 100 plus the panelists. Never went over it, so I think there may be something we didn't know about there.
We will.
Okay. We will definitely take a look. One more question about fireworks. Again, that's a Live Daybreak item, so you would want to reach out to Live Daybreak to ask about any future fireworks that are going to happen in the community. A couple more comments.
And if I may add, Sarah, I know we've had several comments about the lake. I would just say, bear in mind, this is the first full year the association's had it under actual management directly. And our first priority was the trails. We're looking at other aspects of it, including the ecology of the lake, the lighting. We are developing, with the guidance of the board, a long-term management plan for the lake so that we can ensure it remains the heart of the community.
Thank you. Alrighty, again, if you have any additional questions, just email them to us and we will provide them to the board. As well as this, again, like I said earlier, this meeting is recorded. We will post it so all residents will have access to all of this information.
Okay, so now it's time for everyone's favorite part, the prizes, and hopefully we can make it as fun as we can for an HOA meeting. We want to acknowledge some of our vendors that donated gifts this year for our raffle. And I did see some questions in there about the swag bags. They donated the swag for the gift bags as well, which were promised to the first 100 residents who registered for this meeting. So we sent an email to the first 100 who registered, and that's what those were. All right, so our top 3 prizes. One is a 1/4 of prepaid dues for the Master Association, not the sub, courtesy of Lisa Radke from Remax Realty. The second one is a Google Nest Home from your developers at Daybreak Communities. And the third prize is one of these Hickory Farm gift boxes, which these are one of my go-to for all holidays. So if you're looking for a gift for the holiday season for any in-laws, family members, you can always re-gift this too if you'd like. But I will pick them out of this jar. So first, we have Juliana Hacken. So this is for the prepaid quarters. So I will put your name on this and try to come in anytime between now and, well, tomorrow and next Wednesday before Thanksgiving. So Juliana Hacken. And the next one for the Google Nest Home, Bob Williams. And then the Hickory Farms box is Wendy Crossman. And then we will try to remind you guys a little bit later.
Excellent. So yeah, come get those. Definitely by the end of the week is preferable, or else we might eat your gift box of Hickory Farms.
Yeah. We also have listed the winners for the remaining gifts here on the next slide. We pulled the names from the raffle while you guys were all watching the video. If you see your name on this list, come into the office by next Wednesday, right before Thanksgiving, again, to claim your prize. And that's full of Amazon gift cards, Visa gift cards, Texas Roadhouse, things like that. So if you see your name, some of you didn't upload your name. So there's Course 13 and some names on there. Obviously, if we can't reach you, we'll have to pick an alternative, but there you have it.
Thank you all. So I'm going to give you a minute to take a look, make sure, see if you won one of the Amazon gift cards, Texas Roadhouse, Visa gift cards, Grubhub.
Oh, and don't forget that the 2 winners of the game was Nash and Carl A. And then try and come in. That's for the $50 gift card goes to Nash, and then the $25 gift card goes to Carl A. So there you go.
So on your honor, don't just pretend that you're Carl A. and come in. That could be unfortunate and unsportsmanlike.
Test you with a couple of questions.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And I'll go back to this slide right after, but we just wanted to thank you all for participating. I know it was definitely a different type of annual meeting this year, but we have lots of fun surprises in store for next year. Hopefully, if we all can be together in person again. Only 2 announcements. I just wanted to announce something that we just came up with a couple days ago, actually. We're partnering with the Salt Lake County Health Department to offer a flu shot clinic right here in Daybreak at the community center. It is a free flu shot clinic. All you have to do is just reserve a time slot on Rec Desk. So all that information will be coming in your Tuesday newsletter, but as of tomorrow morning, you'll be able to register yourself for those free time slots. It takes 2 minutes, and all you have to do is come to the DCC and bring your filled out form. And that will be on December 2nd. The other event we have going on right now is a food drive for the association. We are collecting food. It's that time of year, so non-perishable items between now and December 4th. So feel free to stop by our office or the DCC and drop off any items that you can spare around the season so that we can help feed those in need. And with that, we just want to thank you all one more time for coming to this annual meeting virtually, and we hope to see you very soon in person instead. And I'll go back to this one slide one more time, just in case you missed if you want.
And if you do have questions about the prizes, you can email me. My last name is kind of a mouthful. So if you go to mydaybreak.com and under contact us, you'll find me, Brianna, and you can go ahead and shoot me an email and we can talk about it. So. Okay.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you. Unless any of the board members have anything else to add, we are ready to adjourn.
Well, thank you, Sarah and Bree, for running an excellent meeting. Good job.
Thank you.
What videographers you are. So.
Thanks for being our tribute, Rich.
Right. Taking a
He was a good sport about it. Okay, and with that, we will see you at the next open board meeting.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.